Hi everybody, this is Cindy over at paper.old.new. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I am thrilled to have you. I want to thank all of my subscribers, and I hope that if you have just found me, that you too will soon be a subscriber. I'm stash building. That's my New Year's resolution for junk journaling. So in the spirit of that, I've been watching all kinds of ephemera making type videos, and I was over at Creators Call Shop and I saw, or Creators Call, I don't know why I stuck the shop on the end there. And Marci did some really, really cute pockets with doilies. Now, I don't have a lot of doilies. I have a few. But what I do have a lot of are cupcake wrappers. I mean, look at them all. Out of a box. Now, granted, I do have some solid ones, which can be anything. But I do have some, and that can really be anything. But I mean, that one's all hearts. I do have some that are very, very geared toward specific holidays. Like, here's a bunny. And then I have some that are just colorful. But I feel like this is what we do, right? You see an idea and you adapt it to the supplies that you have. I also don't have a scalloped circle punch. So when I made mine, this is the two that I've made so far. This is what they look like, sort of, except for, like I said, she uses, here where I put the cupcake wrapper, she puts a doily. The rest of it is pretty much, the idea is generally the same. I watched her do it. I didn't do it along with her. And then I came down here to my craft space and I tried to do it from memory. So I did this idea with the cupcake wrapper. It is supposed to be, so there's a tuck spot. You fold the cupcake wrapper in half, or her doily in her case. And there's a tuck spot here in the cupcake wrapper, just a shallow tuck spot. And then here is a pocket. So that goes all the way down here. And then she embellished it. Now, she had a scalloped circle punch and I don't. So what I used was, I have this. And I punched two of those shapes and then glued. Actually, this happens to be the bottom of this cupcake wrapper that I punched with this punch. And so I glued two of these, I think they're hyacinths, together. And then I put the circle on top. And that's it. You just kind of pick a background. And then I adapted it to another card. So this one, these are all these 4x6 cards that I've been working with. So actually they're 4.5 by 6.5. But again, I took one of the cards and a strip from another card, a cupcake wrapper, and then the hyacinth punch, I punched the rest of this card. So there, I cut this strip off of here, and then I punched two punches out of it. And I made the little shape, and then I stuck a 2-inch circle on top of it. This one is glued. This one has stitching. So this one has a stitch across here with a lace. This one is I just glued the cupcake wrapper to the back of the strip of paper so that you, again, I keep dropping this strip. I'm doing a lot of explaining and we're not doing a lot of crafting. But again, you get the little tuck spot where the cupcake wrapper is, and then you get the pocket in the back. So I thought these were a lot of fun. And then if you really wanted to, again, you could glue this down so that it's a pocket behind here. So technically a tuck spot and two pockets. I couldn't remember when I got down here, and I thought she must have. Once I got down here, I was looking at how to do this, and so you glue these together, and then I took this piece and this piece up to my sewing machine, sewed them together, and then glued it down to the card so that you get the deep pocket in the back and the shallow tuck spot at the front. I think that's how she did. I don't remember if that's how she did hers or not. I will link her video though, because you need to go over and see hers. Hers are really cute with the doilies. But anyway, I thought we would try putting maybe one of these together. I was just going to sit here and make a bunch, and I thought maybe that, you know, I would show them to you. I've already punched a music circle, so hopefully we can use that. Again, my cupcake wrappers are sort of bright colors, so it's going to be kind of hard to do something like vintagey, I guess, because it's just, I just don't have. I was thinking maybe these would lend themselves to something semi-vintage, or I don't know if I could do the hearts on the happily ever after. See, the colors don't. The only thing you have to watch too with these cupcake wrappers, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see the Wilton? So just something to keep in mind when you're gluing them down and using them, because it is something that on this one where I punched the bottom out, because the punch goes out here into the, when you flatten this out and you go to punch it, it goes out here into the ruffled edge. So the Wilton label was on the bottom of this, and I just covered it up with another heart punch. Anyway, so I was looking to use some of these. These are kind of off-white and the colors aren't quite so crazy. So I was kind of hoping I could use one of them on something that's a little less kid. Maybe? What do you guys think? Let's try it and see what happens. So we are going to take, and I have 2 of each in case I decided I wanted to use the punch again to do the center of the. So basically you take the cupcake wrapper and you flatten it as best you can. Now the one thing that I will say is that they do tend to like buckle back and forth. See how this one sits out a little bit? So they do tend to, like, I don't know if that, like if you could iron it and that would help. But anyway, so this would be the wrapper. I'll flip it over just so I can get rid of the Wilton label. I don't know if using my bone folder on it would help. See, that seems to be curling it toward me. Maybe if I turn it over and do it on the other side too. I don't know. I don't know how to fix that problem because I mean it's a circle. So okay, so if we did that, now we have to figure out what we want to use across. Not any of this. Let's pull these over here and see what we have. Now, it doesn't have to be, the cross strip doesn't have to be decorative. I mean, you could do, those are all the same. You see, looking through this stack over here, am I doing this off camera? See, I mean, this is the part that makes the videos long, right? Hemming and hawing over. All right, I should stop going through here because I've obviously found several that will work. So, okay. So, I kind of think this is almost just as plain as like the parchment paper, because I would end up cutting that off and using this strip up here. And while it is the same color as this and almost the same exact background, it's, I mean, I suppose I could use this piece. No, okay, we eliminated that candidate. Okay, now what about this one? This is going to get cut, which is okay, because I would probably cut it right down the middle of the butterfly, because I don't mind that. Do I like this better? I'm going to eliminate that also. So it's going to be one of these. Not that. Not that. It's going to be one of these. I'm really leaning toward this one, guys. I like the butterfly for some reason. All right, we're going to do that. You know what I'm wondering if I could do? I'm wondering if these would coffee dye. Like, and if I got them wet, if they would flatten out more. Okay, so we are going to trim this. You know, I got a nice big new trimmer, and I haven't been using it a lot. And mainly it's because I still have not gotten my desk to the point where it is easy to bring it up here and use it. It's just really hard to bring it up here. Okay, so we're going to cut this strip like that. And then I have this pretty thing to play with, which I like because I have another one of the butterflies. And then I'm going to cut this short of, just do that with scissors. We're going to cut this right down the middle of this butterfly so that I just have the half wing. Like that. Because this will actually stick out. If you see the way this one got put together, there's a top piece here that kind of sticks out. So this is probably going to show. Yeah, right up there. Okay. Now, for that one, I clipped my corners, and I think I'll clip my corners on this one too. And I also think I want to sew this one. I think this one will benefit from stitching. So, corner punch. And to hold it before I get up there, we're going to put a little bit of glue right along here. And then we're going to stick it down like that. Now, there we go. Now, the really exciting thing is I think that since we used the butterfly paper with the black in it, I think this is going to make a really good center for the, this. And I think I'm going to punch them out of this. So we just take this and we stick it in here. Am I sticking this in the right way? Yeah. Make sure I have. So then you make this little, and I try to center it as best I can. I mean, so that they're all kind of even, but it's basically an eyeball kind of a thing. I mean, so we'll glue that together. And I suppose you could, actually, you know what? I'm going to. I didn't on any of the others. I think I'm going to ink this one, though. And I'm probably going to ink the music sheet, too. I would say I would ink that, but I went ahead and glued the cupcake wrapper to it, and now I can't. I don't think I can get to it. Oh, wait, maybe I can. Yeah, my next, now that I've done this, and I really like these. I mean, Marci did a great job with these, and hers are really cute. She did a Christmas one where she put polka dots on a white doily. It was really cute. And then she did a bunch from some scraps that she had. See, I have these are those matte stack cards that I'm using. She did hers from, I mean, she just had cut off scraps that she did hers from, and they turned out great. I mean, she was running through and matching all kinds of stuff together, and I mean, they turned out really cute. So it doesn't have to be like pre-measured cards or anything. Just whatever size you want your pockets, and then you just have to make all of your, you know, pieces or whatever that you need to make according. And what's really nice is if you decide to go the cupcake wrapper route, or if you decide to go the doily route. Now I think there's more sizes of doilies than there are cupcake wrappers, but I think they make mini cupcake wrappers, so you could do small versions of this. I don't know if they make the, like, you know, those jumbo muffins that you can get. I don't know if they make wrappers that big. Not decorative ones anyway. I suppose you could decorate them yourself. But yeah, like I said, my supply of doilies is not huge. So, I didn't really have. And I was clean. Oh, I put too much glue back there, guys. That's okay. It's going to get covered up with the music paper. And I was cleaning out cabinets up in my kitchen, and I was cleaning out my baking cabinet because I have a bunch of baking supplies up there. And can I just tell you, I feel really bad, but I didn't bake this Christmas. Like, usually we do cookies and stuff, and I didn't do any baking this Christmas. I don't know if I want the more notes or if I want this little you most of all. I mean, it's got notes, and you can tell it's music, but I kind of like the you most of all. I think I'm going to keep it. So we're going to ink this. But anyway, so I was cleaning out my baking cabinet because since I didn't bake this year, I didn't want to have like a bunch of stuff up there that was old and yucky. And I came across this box because I can't tell you. I mean, I homeschool my one daughter, and my other daughter is getting ready to graduate, and they've had a couple of like class parties or whatever, but they want you to bring in, at least around me, now maybe it's different with you guys, but they want you to bring in pre-packaged bought stuff. They don't want you making homemade things and sending them into the classroom. Remember when you used to send in cupcakes and all that kind of stuff when your kids had birthdays? Well, apparently they don't let you do that anymore, at least not in my district. So, you know, I have all these cupcake wrappers and I don't do anything with them. So, and it just happened to be, I was cleaning the cabinet out. It was not that long after I had seen her video. And I was like, huh, I know what I could do with those cupcake wrappers. So, yeah. All right, I think I've given this time to dry. So I'm going to pause you for just a second. I'm going to run upstairs and put stitches through this. Okay. See the lace? That edition came because, I don't know if you can see the stitch. Can you see the stitch? My thread is like a grayish color. Oh, you can see it back there. Funny story while I was up there, the reason the lace got added, because I wasn't really going to put any lace on this one because it's very decorative. And look, I covered up my butterfly. So I get up there and I go to stitch it, and the thread, didn't notice, the thread had come out of the needle. So it was punching holes in my paper, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to line them up again. So I just, yeah, I put a piece of lace to cover up the holes and then stitched over that. Anyway, I didn't do any back stitching just because these kind of get glued. Oh, that one's kind of far. The last stitch in on that one is kind of far in because there's a hole here, but I don't think there's a stitch in it. Maybe. So right up there at the top, my glue's a little wide. Anyway, so we'll glue around this just like you would any pocket. And between the glue, oops, and the folding and stitching of the cupcake wrapper, you end up with a tuck and a pocket. So these are kind of fun. Now, they are a little bit time consuming. As you can see, you saw me going through and choosing papers that went together and all that sort of thing. I suppose what would be a good idea would be to do like a bunch of them at once. So pick your cupcake wrappers. Like this one was easier just because it's a single color, so I'm not trying to match a pattern. But I feel like something that's going to help these, and I may hold off on making any more of these. This may be a future project down the road, is I think something that will help will be the, like if I can coffee dime and knock those colors back a little bit, because they're bright. I mean, other than using them on the kid ones, because I may still make some more of these for the kid journals, just because, you know, all that kid matte stack stuff, I want to use it up. So it's not like I'm not looking to make stuff out of that. So I may very well use some of the brightly colored ones to make some of these pockets out of those to use in future, you know, kids book journals that I make. I would say little golden book journals, but I have several other kids books that I'm looking at going, I wonder if I could take that apart and make it into a journal. I might challenge myself with a few different kind of books. I know, I've done one journal and now I think I'm an expert. Not hardly. Okay. We're going to put that down on there, and that will be the end of that one. Well, no, because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to punch. I'm very much a rounded corner person. I feel like it finishes them off. I don't like the sharp corners. I mean, unless there's a reason for them to be there. Okay, so that's one. I wonder if, let's try it, see what happens. Maybe I could knock the color back a little bit with the ink. There we go. The ridges of the cupcake wrapper picked it up. You see? So, yeah. And there you have it, guys. So we have our pocket in the back. And then right in between the cupcake wrappers, we have a little tuck. So you could tuck something right in there like that. You know, something little. And then you could put something in behind it for a pocket. And as I said, depending on how you glue this down. Now, these are wide. Because I'm using these cards, these are 6.5 inches. I should have paid attention to how I was gluing. Will this come up? It will. This could very easily be a side one. So like I could go like that. The reason I pulled that up is so that the you most of all would be right side up. I'm actually going to change this one to be a side tuck. She did that in her video too. She had one that she made vertical. And that would all depend. I mean, it could depend on a lot of things. It could depend on whether or not you want a vertical one. It could depend on the paper that you're trying to use. You might look at it and go, this really goes this way. But yeah, so now same thing applies. You just have a side pocket and you have a side tuck, right? And it can go up and down like that, which I think is really, really cute. So now this fits, and I'm actually, since it's going to go up and down like that, I'm actually going to punch this other corner. There. So now this will fit, because this way these cards are 4.5 inches. So this will now fit, because a lot of the journals I notice that people, now in a little golden book, these will fit just fine because the pages are wider. But a lot of the journals that we make on our own, and a lot of books actually lend themselves more to like a 6x9. So this way, that's going to be too wide for the page. So that would be something else that you would need to take into account when you're making these, is how big your scraps are as far as what kind of a journal you might be putting them in, or if you have a favorite size. But I'm actually going to cut this off with just the one. But I just wanted to give you my variation. When I had this thought about the cupcake wrappers, I came right downstairs and I made this one. Now, I won't use this paper. This glittery paper, the black and white stuff that I have, is really hard to use. it's really hard to glue on and stuff. So I don't know that I'll use it for background anymore. I mean, it can be the strip and, you know, stuff like that, but I probably won't use it in the back anymore. But we got these, and as you can see, this one's not as tall. I cut this one off. I cut about a 1/2 inch off this one. You could turn this one this way, but I feel like with the flowers, sorry, you could turn that one vertical, but I feel like with the flowers, that's kind of a horizontal. This one can go either or. So there's not really anything directional about this unless you're picky about which way your hearts sit. And you could do it that way too if you wanted the heart, if you wanted this at the bottom. So this one is not directional. Now that I've glued this one on this way, this one is directional. But yeah, guys, so I hope you enjoyed my take on Marci's pockets. I will link her video down below so you can go see her make them with the doilies and whatnot. And I will see you in the next video, guys. Happy stash building. Bye-bye.